Hey there, I'm Stef.
And I'm Simon.
And welcome to The Food Fight, where we offer a different perspective on food culture issues around Australia and the world.
We'll talk with chefs, producers, business owners and experts to hear their stories and find out what makes them tick.
This is a quick Small Bites episode where Libby Cupitt and I give our recommendations for our favourite places to go eat, stay and shop in the Shoalhaven and in the Eurobodalla on the south coast. Let's do it. Okay, so this is a quick Small Bites segment for The Food Fight where Libby and I are going to give the listeners out there some advice on our favourite places to go, places that obviously all the places on the south coast have been affected by fire, but some of our places, our favourite places to go and spend your money, whether it's hospitality or other things. So Libby's going to do the Milton area and I'll talk a bit about Bateman's Bay, Maria, Browley, those sorts of areas.
Cool.
Go for it.
So we're just going to list we're
going to talk about, we'll just talk about some different businesses and restaurants.
So imagine I was booking a holiday, where might I stay around here?
Okay.
Well, we'd recommend that you stay with Bannister's Hotels because Bannister's is one of the long-running hotels in the area and they do it so
classic.
well. Oh, like when the fires happened, they welcomed me and, you know, with their generator-fueled Wi-Fi, and I saw all the guests completely oblivious to what was going on in the world because they were just doing the Bannisters thing, giving the great guest experience. So I was in turmoil and just going, no one knows what's going on here.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So, you know, if you're going to have a holiday away, stay at Bannisters.
That's going to show good hospitality is if the guests have no idea about
they have no idea. They're like, I need more oranges for my freshly squeezed orange juice. And I'm like...
I'll add to that though. If you think about how Airbnb works, and I know a lot of people who are in this boat, there are a lot of people that have properties on the south coast who rely on things like Airbnb to pay their mortgage. And if you want to help someone, it kind of doesn't obviously you want to stay, you know, Libby's got a connection to Bannisters and they do have a hospitality business which has been hit as well. So, but anyone down here, like most of the people that down here that have a house that put it on Airbnb rely on that income and thousands and thousands and and the high peak rates is
that's the time.
Yeah, we lost shitloads of money. I luckily don't rely on Airbnb money to pay my mortgage down on the south coast.
Stay in an Airbnb. You
can stay
for a couple of nights.
You can,
and then just take one fancy night at Bannisters to
both. Do both.
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
Yep. For both your trips. So one's Milton Ulladulla, where you're staying at Bannisters, and one you come down to Browley and stay in an Airbnb. Quicksand Beach House.
Exciting. Just booking holidays right now, Tom. On the South Coast this year, twice. Yeah.
But there's plenty as we've mentioned, everywhere's affected. So
that's
accommodation.
Right. That's right.
But Bannisters is beautiful. Beautiful if you haven't been there. Sorry. Keep going, Libby. I just
interrupted.
More
questions?
Just try and keep it flowing. Any other places to stay to be recommended?
Yeah, look, I think that there's something for most budgets down here. Like, this town has been built for tourism. So we've got great caravan parks. Like the caravan park down at Dolphin Point, for me, just like the view straight out to the sea from the cabins there blows my mind every time I see it. It's just such a hidden gem. And then again, we have incredible Airbnbs on offer, you know, at Mollymook Beach. There's so many, you know, places to stay. There's lots of different pockets throughout the area. And then there's just, you know, there's a simple motel that would take a single night stay, and then you don't need to worry about sitting in your room all night. You can go out to all the good restaurants and bars.
Great segue.
Perfect.
Where's good for wine for myself, and where's good for a tasty beverage of beer?
Wine and beer. Cupitt's for sure.
Obviously.
But yeah, so at Cupitt's we make our own wine and beer, but lately in the last few months we've been joined by another brewery in town. So Dangerous Ales opened up in Milton Hotel. So you can do a little bit of a brewery tour in the area.
The Milton Brewery experience.
Yeah, 2 breweries in one day, which is all you really need.
One small town.
And then small town is a good segue too. Small town Milton is a great place to get a glass of wine.
Yeah, wine lists look great. I was eyeing up a lot of bottles there. We were doing a podcast with Alex earlier.
Yeah, they've got a great knowledge in the area. In the wine field, and Alex's food is so delicious. So you can't go wrong with having a glass of wine and some bites at Small Town Milton for sure. You can also get a great cocktail at the Ruse in Ulladulla. This is just open. They opened January, so they could really use your support. Yeah. Erin and Ben used to run Native Cafe, which is a great cafe on Ulladulla Harbour. They sold that and opened up the Ruse, and Ben's an Australian bartender champion, and you've got an outlook to Ulladulla Harbour while you're drinking, which is something we've missed for a very long time here. So I really recommend everyone checking out the Ruse.
You beauty.
Cool. Favourite cafes around here, Libby?
Spoil for choice for cafes. So definitely Peach in Milton. There's 2 sisters doing that. Pilgrims is an institution. We've got Duke & Co in Milton as well. Milk House out sort of on next to a dairy farm out on Kurubia Road in sort of outskirts of Woodstock. Great fresh seasonal produce. Dan just creates the best menus from what's grown in the garden. Tree House in Ulladulla. Native as well in Ulladulla and Ulladulla Harbour. So yeah, we're spoiled for choice for cafes.
I just on the way down here, I didn't treat Simon. He bought it himself, but he had his first Hayden's pie experience.
Oh, what flavour did you go for?
I got chicken and bacon. It's still sitting in the car. I start with a sausage roll and a New York cheesecake, which I've already eaten. Yeah. It's been
He's got a pie in the car to have on the way.
I had a bacon egg roll earlier. So
heating up.
What chefs eat, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Actual diet of road tripping chef.
So started off with a bacon and egg roll and chips for breakfast.
I'm so hungry now.
From last night.
Yeah. Probably. I ate last night? No, I don't think I ate last night.
And other places you go for dinner around here, Libby?
Yeah, look, we've mentioned Small Town, the pub as well. There's a great Italian restaurant called The Guild. Stef has, flown in authentic Italiano chefs to create the best wood-fired pizza. So I highly recommend The Guild. I love going to Bannister's Pavilion as well. Something special, go to Rick Stein. And then...
Torwood.
Oh, Torwood, absolutely. Sorry. Torwood is amazing. Matt Upson is an amazing chef, and, they're really focusing on local produce at the moment, which he's always done, mind you. But, since this event that's happened over summer, he's like, nah, I'm keeping the business in the community, and so much respect for Matt and what he does at Torwood. Absolutely. So, yeah, don't miss out on that.
Yep. Cool.
Nice.
Should we move on to my neck of the woods?
Where would I buy local produce if I was in an Airbnb and I was cooking myself in a night?
Around here?
Is there markets? Is there
local
food?
No. We have the IGA Milton is good, but there's also a produce shop in Milton that's a farm shop type thing.
Amazing.
That's what it's called, right? The Milton
highway.
Farm Shop?
I think it's called that, yes. Yep. They've got, Martin Ridge... he got really burnt in the fire, so I don't know what produce that they've got there at the moment. But there's Cupitt cheese there, and same with at Milton IGA, and they're supporting all the local producers. There's also a place also in Milton. The name's escaping me. But it's just near the Guild, and they really focus on biodynamic and organic
the
produce.
Whole Food shop back there.
Whole Foods shop there, yeah. I know Louise that used to have it. That's kind of it. But we do have farmers markets, produce market every Saturday at the Milton.
From the farmers and producers.
There's a great farmer, Tim Cooper here. He always has a stall at the produce market on Saturdays. Cupitt's does a farmers market the last Saturday of every month as well. So
Beautiful.
I think with the empty esky thing, the other cool thing is as you drive down the coast, you'll see signs that say fresh eggs or vegetables or this or that. So just stop and get it. The peaches up in Wandandian. Yeah.
Oh my God. They are so good. They are so good. Stop.
Yeah, so
get some roadside fruit.
There's some beautiful roadside fruit around here. Definitely.
So where are we heading to now?
So
your neck of
I mean, I guess I have a pretty good understanding of what's around based on doing the South Coast Cookbook, but my place is in Browley, which
you can also just buy the South Coast Cookbook.
You can buy the South Coast Cookbook and have a look at where to go for it.
Available from Dimmocks in...
From Dimmocks in Narrow,
yeah.
Or from, I don't know, Tallwood. You can go to Tallwood, they've got it there.
Freshly dropped off at Dimmocks in Narrow earlier.
Yeah, that's it.
Fresh.
Got to use it as a book run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, around Browley is 15 minutes south of Bateman's Bay, in between Bateman's Bay and Maruya. Obviously, that whole area was pretty ravaged. And all those businesses, of course, were affected. In Browley itself, there's a bunch of cafes and things like that. So places like the Tomican Rivermouth General Store, the Mossy Point Cafe, Single Fin Gypsy, and Killy Bin Bin, and the South Brow Cafe. They're all basically in Browley, Mossy Point, and Tomican. The Tomican IGA is a place where a lot of people shop, and they do stock a lot of local stuff there. Like if you're buying milk and you're not buying Tilba milk from an IGA or at least stuff that's dairied on the South Coast, you should buy that is what I'm trying to say. In Maruya's been really affected by fire and stuff as well, and by the road closures and things. And as I was saying to Simon on the way down, is that and you sort of mentioned it as well, Libby, is those areas are very reliant on Canberra tourism, and the roads, the Kings Highway, due to the Kings Highway fire through the Clyde Mountain, was closed forever. So the only way to those areas from Canberra was through Cooma, and back up the coast, which adds a good couple of hours to a trip, and hugely impacted those areas. In Maruya, I want to give a big shout out to Pete at the River, which is one of my favourite places to go for lunch and dinner in our area. Fantastic food. It's sophisticated but really approachable. He's got like a really awesome sort of lunch special, 2 or 3 courses with a glass of wine, really affordable, really great. There's a fantastic health food cafe in Maruya. Obviously support... There's a local coffee roaster there as well, Al Fresco, which does really nice coffee. In Bateman's Bay, the Sandbar is I haven't been yet, but is a really nice degustation only restaurant.
I've been enjoying their Instagram account recently.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
it's entertaining.
Yeah. As well as there's a bunch of cafes. Buy local oysters if you can, as much as possible. Support those farmers.
They're still really good quality as well.
Exactly.
Pristine oysters from the South Coast at Kubo.
Yeah.
Steph, there's also for Maruya, the Sage markets are on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Yeah, so I think we're looking at doing a podcast with the guys from Sage and talking a bit more about the producer side of things. But yeah, Tuesday afternoons, the Sage markets, and a lot of the stuff that goes into Sage markets also gets sold at Southlands Fruit and Veg in Maruya. So you've got Southlands, which is it's such a great fruit and veg shop. So much of it's local. And then right next door is a butcher that has local meat as well, so you can purchase that from there. There's also local stuff sold at the Maruya markets on Saturday if you're unavailable to find yourself at Sage on a Tuesday. In terms of places to stay, back to Airbnbs and things like caravan parks. Like in the whole of the Eurobodalla, we have some of the most amazing caravan parks. It's unbelievable how beautiful these places are and how close they are to the beach. Recently, I stayed at a friend's caravan park in Potato Point, which is one of the most amazing pieces of land.
Potato Point.
Yeah.
It's near Mystery Bay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the way down to Narooma.
Amazing.
In terms of stuff to do, I have to give a special shout out to my friends Frank and Clover, who run underwater safaris in Narooma. It's a dive business. They do scuba diving and snorkeling out at Montague Island off Narooma. They completely rely on this time of year for most of their trade, and they had to leave Narooma. They had to leave their business. So they've got 2 dive boats, which they had to drive onto the golf course that was open for stuff, so they didn't lose their assets. They recently, in the last year, invested a lot into their business, buying new boats and things like that, anticipating the summer. So spent a lot of money, and it's completely shattered their trade over summer, and is, just a massive impact on their business. And it's the same for all tourism around here. It's impacted every service and every product. But because they're such good friends, I want to give them a good shout out and
go for a dive.
It's so much fun. You can snorkel with the seals. Yeah, it's pretty affordable. You just jump on the boat and you can go out and you can snorkel with seals out of Montague Island. Yeah. It's amazing.
Narooma's incredible.
Beautiful.
We do the Narooma Oyster Festival every year, so that's the first weekend in May, it's so good.
Yeah, it was a good date for having a book. Come down.
Yeah,
for the festival.
Definitely, I'll be down there. I'm just trying to think of some other places. So in Narooma, there's Montague Coffee Roasters there. Obviously, support Tilbury Dairy, which is in the area as well. Down towards Bermagui, Mr. Hope, Honor Bread. I know those guys, have done it so tough with all sorts of closures, Honor and Tim. Il Passaggio, the restaurant there. There's Eastwoods. There's a bunch of fantastic places down in Bermagui now. Awesome oysters, great places to stay. The pub down in Bermagui is fantastic. Great gelato in that area. And then as you go further south down, Marimbula Cranky Cafe. There's Wheeler's Seafood Restaurant and oysters and stuff like that down in that area.
There's also the guys that had Zanzibar have got Banksia
Hugh and Renee,
restaurant. Yeah.
I need to go there. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, me too. My friends went yesterday and loved it. Yep. So if you can get in, Banksia restaurant in Pambula.
Looks beautiful. Just really sort of like classic sort of bistro style food, but done really elegantly and nice.
Yeah. Dulce's as well.
Yeah.
In Marimbula.
Yeah.
Just Dulce's Cottage. Is it?
Yeah. It's like unbelievable.
Regional Bar of the Year 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's so good.
There you go.
Did that hurt?
Oh, no. Well, it hurt the Wolf Boys maybe. But
right.
Yeah, so I guess the point is that I think people that work in hospitality, people that publish cookbooks about hospitality, in a sense, are pretty good places to go for recommendations of good places to eat and stuff like that. So we're just trying to give people an idea of our favourite places to go, places that we're connected to.
Share this about.
Yeah.
Get amongst it.
Share it about. Get yourself down the coast.
Push it on
book
your
yourself book yourself an Airbnb or a weekend at Bannister's in June, in July, in August, or something like that.
Yep.
When people aren't necessarily hashtagging empty esky and stuff still, because the effects of the events of the summer are going to be felt for years. So keep it going.
Cool. Good guide.
Thanks.
Let's leave it there. Thanks, Libby. Cheers. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this Small Bites episode. Of course, if you want to get in touch with Libby Cupitt, you can find her at Cupitt on Instagram, and you can find them on their website, of course. Also, if you want to get in touch with the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at The Food Fight Podcast. We've also got an email address, thefooodfightpodcast@gmail.com. You can get in contact with us there, or you can follow me, Stef, at Quicksand Food on Instagram, or Simon at Simon Evans Cavo with underscores on Instagram also. See you next episode.